Now that I have pretty much the whole day to work on this, I am going to check to see if the gas tank is garbage, as in if it's rusty or if it's this bunch of old gas that's been sitting in there. So I'm gonna get a better look of the gas tank. And if I have to, and the gas tank is all rusted out, I'll have to drop the transmission and exhaust to get the gas tank out and put on a nice coating of the red coat in it, which means a lot of cleaning of it. And so hopefully I just hope it's gummed up. All I know is the fuel pump seems to be seized, and it seems that there is no fluid in the line. So I'm gonna, while the car's down, I'm gonna check to see how it looks in the gas tank. And then we'll put it up in there and drain whatever gas is left in the tank and try to clean it out as much as possible. Hopefully I don't have to drop the transmission, because I don't feel like doing that, even though I have the turbo transmission that I could throw in, sorry, transaxle that I can throw in, which would make it a lot better. But let's go from there. I think I might be lucky, but I'm not really sure until I actually drain out the rest of the gas. But I don't know if you can see in there. Let's see if I can focus this. Yeah, there's the reflection of the gas isn't helping, but it seems like it's just a whole bunch of crud in there, not rust, which is good. It's hard to tell with the camera, but yeah, it seems like there's no rust in there. So I think the next step is to drain all the gas and see what it looks like with all the gas out of it. So that means I gotta pop this car back up in the air.
Perfect.
So we got the fuel filter replaced because it's been years. What I'm thinking is actually happening is because of the old crap that's been in the tank for 10 years. I think this strainer here is just all clogged up with it. And if I squeeze this, I feel like there's nothing in this line. Like I don't feel any resistance of liquid. It feels like an empty straw. And at the same time, I believe this got seized up because of some junk getting into this. So I'm gonna replace this. I think it's a good idea to replace it anyways. Who knows how long? I mean, it's probably the original one. So I think the first step is to get rid of all the fuel that's in here, which is unfortunately new fuel that we put in. And then once we get this drained out, pull the strainer and replace the fuel pump. This should be good, and then I'm thinking that it should run fine then after that. Hopefully that's the issue. We try to get as much gunk out of this tank as possible. I really don't feel like pulling this transaxle and exhaust and everything just to get this tank out, which could take, who knows. I mean, the bolts don't look too bad, but I don't like removing stuff I don't have to, just so it doesn't break. So I guess I'll get at it.
Perfect.
All the fuel is out. I noticed though that this has a lot of, let's see if I can focus it. This has a lot of dry rot in it, so, and you can see it's expanding there a little bit. So I guess since I'm already here, I might as well remove this hose, put a new one in. Because is there any other ones? That one doesn't seem too bad. That's steel. This one is braided. That one doesn't look bad either. There is some type of weed growing up there. I guess I'm just gonna replace this one because it is dry rotted. So I'll run to the auto parts store to get a hose. And I think first I'm gonna pull the fuel pump. I'm about to take this hose off, but you can really see how dry rotted it is. You can see the cracking there. It's definitely time to go. If I can focus it. So definitely gonna take this off, and then I'll probably pull the strainer too and see what kind of crap's on it. I have some unfortunate news. It looks like I have to go buy a new one of these. You can see that there's a whole bunch of tears through this, and because there's a whole bunch of tears through it, it has literally got all gunked up with garbage in there, and that's what got into the fuel pump and made it seize. So, which makes total sense. I didn't want to have to do this, but it looks like I got to buy a new one of these, which is a huge bummer. Wasn't looking forward to doing it, but yeah, there's all this sludge and crap in here. I cut into this a little bit more, and you can really see that. Maybe if I hold it up to the light here, that is just filled with garbage, and it's like this weird paste. It's orange paste, which makes it look like rust, but it's all gross and stuff. That's definitely what's caused it. The gas tank has been sitting for 10 years. I put this back in here just so I can see the length of the hose. So I got the new fuel pump in, everything's wired, everything's good. I'm gonna connect the fuel line, and then I'll zip tie it up higher so it doesn't drag low. But pretty much it's not gonna hang this low. So this is done. Inside's cleaned, I wiped it out, so we should be good with that. And then I guess until that part comes in, I might as well do some other things. I can't really do anything down here. Hey, fast forward 3 days. I ordered this finding out that I needed one, and I didn't realize that it would show up so fast. I thought it was gonna be at least 2 weeks because that's what it said it would take, and it was the cheapest one I could find, which is actually a Porsche part, which is awesome. So I'll get this thing out. And there it is, the filter, the O-ring. So let's throw this bad boy in. Unfortunately, it's raining and I can't move the dune buggy outside to lower this. So today I won't be able to try starting it and putting fuel in, but at least I can do is get it installed. I have enough room back here to do it. So let's go with that. all put back together. Again, this is just, drop that. This is just for testing. This is not how it's going to be. Again, the only reason I put this here is to squeeze out the bend point here to make it so there is fuel that gets to the engine. This is just so I can make sure the car is running, and the reason why was the fuel pump and the strainer. Reason why it wasn't running. So that's the reason why I did it this way. Again, I have a new hose coming in that I'm going to replace as soon as it does. But as soon as this rain is done, I think I can drop this and try to get this thing fired. But while I'm down here, I did notice that there underneath here, this guy really, he has strengthened sway bars. These are strong. These are 22 millimeter, which I do not believe is stock, and it's got these adjustable ends on it. So there is some money put in here, and you can tell these are Bilstein struts, even though the sleeve's on there. So there's some money dumped into this car at some point. Maybe I should have tested this out before I bought a new one, but I'm gonna guess positive on this side, negative on this side. Oh yeah, that's definitely seized. Just in case, let's just see if the other side's, if it's in reverse or not. Maybe I can even break it free. Let me bring you closer so you can see. Hopefully you can hear this. Listen. It's trying to turn, but it is definitely seized. So I think that's the reason why the car was running, for sure. I don't know, I don't like looking into a camera like this, but it is I guess 2 days afterwards. I brought the car down to about halfway, all the way down. So I'm gonna fill it up with a couple gallons of gas. And this is just enough so I can check to see if the fuel is leaking at all. So do that and see if we can fire it up. Hopefully it fires up and idles, and see if we can even put it in gear. So far so good, no leaking. The only place that it could possibly leak once I get the car started is from the fuel pump to the lines, but I'll check that after I start it up. But so far so good. Gonna add some more. Hey, so there's about 3 gallons in this tank. Don't see any drops or leaks. Things are looking pretty good. So next thing to do is lower this car the rest of the way down and see if it fires. Fuel line, fuel rail tight, plugged in the battery. We should be able to fire. So the car would not fire up. It did start to fire when I gave it. Doesn't feel like it's getting fuel. I cracked the fuel rail and just a drop comes out, so it doesn't feel like it's pressurized. So I kind of built this rig. I guess a way to troubleshoot it. So I have this line connected to the fuel pump, and I'm going to test to see if there's power getting to the fuel pump. All the fuses look like they're fine, so I'm just going to check through there. Then I'm going to know what the polarity of which line is which. if it's not giving any power, it's gonna go through the jump box. So let's see what happens. I plug that in. Let's see if this turns green when I try to start it. Put the key, which is a screwdriver. Well, that's good. There's no starter fluid in it, so. Almost. Oh, it's trying. Give it one final time before it quits for today. I can get the screwdriver in. And come on. I'm not really sure what to do next. So the ignition is dead, like completely dead. So I'm gonna have to just rewire it, the push button, just for the time being. I don't know. It's almost like it's wanting to fire, but then it doesn't. The fuel pump is getting power to it, but since I'm one person, I can't check to see if the fuel pump is actually working or not. I mean, I could hook it up and just listen. Maybe I'll do that. Let me try that. I'm gonna hook it up and just see if I can feel it go. And this is crude for testing purposes. Hooked up the fuel pump through this watt wire just so I can hear it, and if you listen, fuel pump is working. So I'm hoping there's no clogs in the fuel line or something, or not fuel line, fuel rail. So we'll go from there. Yeah, it's gross in here. I mean, I want to get this car running before I clean it out. These seats are great. Okay, so I guess I'll come back to this after I figure out how to rewire the ignition. Well, I'm gonna unhook all this stuff so I don't burn it down.